Hello, everyone. I'm Archana Shekara, Associate Professor of Graphic Design at Illinois State University, and I'm going to be sharing my screen right now. Thank you to ATypI for inviting me to share my research and pedagogy in fostering transcultural awareness and competency in typography. Before I start to talk about my teaching methodology and the Designing Authenticity Shanghai Normal project, I would like to share some background about myself and my reasoning in finding innovative methods teaching graphic design. Graphic design is a human-centered, service-oriented profession where designers have a greater responsibility to become culturally aware, understand diversity, inclusion, and social constructs to create designs that are authentic and not just pretty pictures, promoting clients' campaigns. It's imperative that art and design education adopts new methodologies to address cross-cultural learning since we live in a global society. Design is a philosophy of life in which designers have to empathize with and respect the diverse communities of people we serve. I have been teaching for 11 years at Illinois State University in Normal. Bloomington Normal are twin cities in the Midwest, and we are in between St. Louis and Chicago. Prior to teaching, I have worked in several design studios as an art director and graphic designer, creating projects for diverse clients. I experienced that many clients are interested in showcasing ethnic diversity in their company's print and digital materials to be inclusive of a diverse ethnic population. It's easy and cost-effective to download stock photos showcasing individuals of Asian or African descent. Using these types of images in their campaigns, companies believe that they have succeeded in showcasing diversity. As I continued working, I began to question these assumptions. Was using such images truly speaking to a diverse ethnic audience? Was this effective? Did it communicate anything? I've also observed these kinds of ads being promoted by international magazines and companies. But is this morally right? What are we really gaining by exotifying and stereotyping? Living in the United States for 3 decades, I have witnessed the increasing influence of Asian culture and art in Western society. Its social culture is being influenced by the Eastern way of life in terms of food, home design, and decor, and the Eastern practice of wellness as in Tai Chi, yoga, and meditation. In home decor, we see the sculptural objects of happy Buddha faces or the meditating Buddha in people's homes. We can also easily purchase bamboo plants at local departmental stores like Target or Walmart. When a customer buys these types of objects, what does it really mean? Are they appreciating that culture or simply the superficial nature of that artifact to make their homes look eclectic and contemporary? Professor of International Business, Mary Yoko Brannon, in her book, What is Culture and Why Does It Matter?, states that the world as a global village is an expression used so often that the phrase itself has become a cliche. Most of us take for granted much of the outcome of globalization. We navigate our lives daily through a panoply of cultural choices such as which nation's food to eat, what foreign film to watch, or what country's fashion to wear. Most of us even quite comfortably intermix foreign words in our daily vocabulary, like when we say something analogous to, it's a Zen sort of a thing. We do not pause and think that food, films, clothes, or words might have a deeper meaning in its original culture. Since we have adopted these things and activities in our daily lives, we take them for granted and likely do not question knowing the original meaning. I've been conducting research in cultural identity and design for the past 13 years, and I've been a design educator at Illinois State since 11 years. The university has embraced learning and scholarship, diversity and inclusion, respect, collaboration, individualized attention, civic engagement, and integrity as its core values. Our university promotes internationalizing the campus to prepare students to be competent and competitive actors in a globally connected society. As the university welcomes international students, it's critical that the entire campus community is aware and educated about cross-cultural sensitivity to bring understanding, acceptance, appreciation, and respect. The graphic design sequence at the Wunsa Kim School of Art has established a 3+1 program with Shanghai Normal University, Tianhua College of Art and Design. The cohort of students will study 3 years at Tianhua College and complete their final year at Illinois State. Selected students were expected to arrive this fall. Due to the current situation, are taking classes online. This partnership is a wonderful opportunity for students from both countries to learn, connect, interact, and collaborate. As a graphic design educator in a historically white institution, I question, how can we prepare our Midwestern American students to embrace students from China, their accent, language, and cultural norms? How do we address stereotyping and marginalization of both American and Chinese cultures? How do we address the Chinese students having English names for the sake of familiarity? In order to cognize and appreciate another nation's socioculture, we have to learn more and familiarize ourselves with our own cultural identity, our behaviors, beliefs, values, and norms. Once we are comfortable with our own identity, then we can celebrate similarities and appreciate differences with other cultures. I had the privilege to teach typography course at Tianhua College in Shanghai last summer. Initially, the students were hesitant to converse with me, and I found out that the hesitation was due to the lack of practicing the English language. I told them that I would be non-judgmental since English was my second language and I'd learned it in elementary school in India. After I revealed this information, students embraced their English language speaking skills and were confident to actively engage in their project presentations and critiques. Students were familiar with the European art history through their survey classes, and our curriculum in typography is Eurocentric. My lecture notes were based on Ellen Lupton's book, Thinking with Type, and Robert Brinker's book, The Elements of Typographic Style. In the beginning of the course, students learned the history and design of traditional page and modern page compositions and were ready to experiment and be challenged. I taught special topics in graphic design last fall at Illinois State University, and students researched and developed bodies of work based on their ancestral cultural background. After these projects, students were ready to learn about other cultural identities. I was interested in discovering how students can navigate and communicate between cultures through typography. How can we understand and respect other cultural identities? How can type design create cross-cultural awareness? So these were the questions I was asking myself. Students in both countries were asked to design a Roman letter form with research cultural history and heritage based on one city, town, province in China. They could not just download images and type and make up a poster. Illinois State students selected one city, town, province in China, studied its cultural history, food, art, architecture, and read articles and essays about the country. Before they began their project, students were asked to acknowledge their stereotypical and superficial understandings of China. Most students liked American Chinese food, had Asian friends in school, learned about China in art and history classes. American media outlets or used Chinese-made products at home. However, students accepted their limited understandings of Chinese culture and were curious to learn more. I invited Dr. Miranda Lin, professor in the Department of Teaching and Learning at Illinois State, to introduce Chinese calligraphy. They experimented in creating the structure of the characters using a grid, the correct hand movement, stroke weight and balance, and understood the respect of the discipline. For students at Tianhua, I wanted them to learn about their own cultural identity. They could not choose their home city or town, and most of them were from Shanghai and its suburbs. They had to write the reason for choosing their city and what their city is known for example, food, landmark, festivals, etc., and share this with their peers in class. After doing these initial preparations and exercises, I assigned Designing Authenticity, Shanghai Normal, a typography-based project enabling students from both institutions to become aware of the Chinese heritage and cultural identity and exploring vernacular designs with Roman letterforms to create new meanings. This project helps students in China to appreciate and reflect upon their cultural identity, while our students in the US gain new understandings and respect about Chinese culture by acknowledging their biases and creating designs that are authentic. Here are a few examples of student work. These initial examples were done by Tianhua students. And this at Illinois State. I just have a few examples. Students also chose one significant element or aspect from their chosen city to create the entire alphabets. So they made GIFs, which was kind of nice. That was their favorite part of the project, they said, in terms of skills. Illinois State students shared their learning outcomes for this project. One student said, "Through this project, I learned that just because we only hear of China as a whole place, we tend to lose the differences and uniqueness the individual cities hold within each other. And because of this, we begin to group it all as one and thus continue stereotyping." The best learning point in the project was realizing how blind I was to culturally insensitive content. I feel now that I have the tools and knowledge to create designs that are inclusive to all and to make sure I do not contribute to the insensitivity. Students at Tianhua said, "In this assignment, I learned about the cities of China that I'm not familiar with, not only through words and pictures, but also with the feeling of being attached to them. In our spare time, we can appreciate the great rivers and mountains of our motherland. I began to respect the local culture of the motherland. We should maintain respect for local customs. We should try to protect the traditional culture for our descendants." By adopting new research methodologies, students strove to understand the multiculturalism in graphic design without stereotyping by a process of reasoning, reflection, and respect. This project enhanced critical thinking, expanded their visual and design vocabulary, and above all, students found new respect for theirs as well as other cultural identities as they begin to see themselves as global citizens. I was invited last fall to present this lecture for the Chinese Consul General, Zhao Jian, and his delegates at Illinois State University's International Seminar Series focusing on China, where the Consul General spoke about US-China relationships. It was an honor for me, and I'm delighted to share this presentation with you all. And thanks to ATypI for making it possible. Thank you all, and looking forward to meeting you during the virtual conference. Bye.
So were students interested in doing this same project this year?
Oh, hi, Shirley. How are you?
Hi.
Yeah, sure. I mean, students are, I'm teaching another, I taught a typography class again over the summer. It was a virtual class in Shanghai. And we did the same project in typography, and they enjoyed doing it. It was hard to teach students through virtually, right? Like I had like 31 students in my morning class and my afternoon class, another set of 31. But it was great. It was a great learning moment for them, and also for me too. Teaching students in Shanghai was kind of interesting.
Mhm. So
And
is this going to happen every year now?
yes, we have a 3+1 program. And then that we have established with Illinois State and Shanghai Normal University. So it happens every year. We actually go there and teach. But then since for like, but all this reason, so we've been kind of collaborating through virtually.
Right, right. Oh, it sounds super interesting. Are you planning on doing it with any other countries, or for now, is it China?
For now, it's with China. So hopefully, who knows? Who knows what's going to happen in future? It would be wonderful, like to conduct these kind of workshops, even as like, to understand and talk about cultural appropriation, and then get that kind of awareness, that's cross-cultural awareness, I think is important. And then if I'm given the chance, maybe a workshop in a different country to do type-based workshops to talk about appropriation that way would be good. Yeah.
Well, perhaps through ATypI, we can have some sort of typographic exchange of educators. That would be pretty awesome.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And I apologize for the way I pronounced. It's embarrassing.
It's okay. It happens all over the world. It's fine. So any other questions to all you in this class? Marta, Sandra, Bruno, Taekyum, Johan? Anyone? This is your chance. I'd like to know if your teachers or students, if your teachers, are you going to apply any of this to future projects? Ooh, you're awfully quiet today.
I recognize a couple of my friends here.
Oh, good.
And Johan.
Excellent. Well, join in, you all. Feel free to type a question in the chat, and we can certainly, oh, there's Bruno. Oh, Bruno really liked the results. Well, that's great. Really love the results.
Thank you, Bruno. Thank you.
So let's see. Oh, there's Zenab. So if any more questions about the teaching of this or the idea of cross-cultural interaction? Zenab, you are late, but that's okay. So Zenab and I are actually doing an exchange with our students. We're actually having synchronous classes together. And we figured since we're all online, we might as well be online with people across the world. So
I'm doing the same thing right now because these students, selected students were supposed to come here and take finish their senior year with us. So I'm kind of doing that, and students are over there. It's hard, isn't it, in terms of time? How are you guys doing?
Yes. Oh, yes. Zenab students are joining in with us. Let's see it. They're 7:30 p.m. And it's my 9 a.m. So because her students are flexible, my American students are not that flexible. So it's not so easy. Yeah, Americans aren't good at that.
Yeah. It's the same thing with us too. It's the same time. And then now with the time difference, in the sense like when we change our time, so I wonder how that's going to be for them. But I totally agree with you. If it was with my American students, I think that would have been a little problematic.
Yes. Zenab, did you want to join in with this? I can turn on your camera, or you can turn on your camera. I don't know if you have any more questions for Archana. Yeah, okay. Well, let me turn you on. Let's see.
Shelly, I'm assuming you're an educator. So which university?
Yes. Well, I started something called Type Camp, where I teach all over the world. It's been going since 2000. Oh my gosh. 2000, I can't even think, 7, 8, 9, I don't know, something like that. Zenab, I'm having trouble turning on your camera, so I don't know why. But I now teach at a small school. There we go. There we go. All right.
Hi,
there we go. I now teach at a small rural Tier 2 university called the University of Ohio University. And so I'm in a small town called Athens, and I'm rebuilding their graphic design programs. So
how amazing is that?
Yes. So here's Zenab. Zenab is very active in teaching cross-cultural typography as well.
Oh, lovely.
So Zenab, what challenges have you had? I mean, I also know that part of the problem in India is that a lot of them aren't as comfortable teaching with their original scripts of the language they originally started with. And a lot of them are just more comfortable teaching in, try this again, designing in Latin script.
Yeah.
How have you dealt with that?
Yeah, so the first issue is that I always face with my students, mostly in publication class, and that if I'm giving a bilingual medium to work with that, they can't, because apparently they can't type anything besides in English.
Mm-hmm.
So and on top is like, I don't know. Like what point they should think about it, that in every Indian institute they need to have a facilitator to make them understand that how to write, how to type in an index script, because mostly it has been done by DTP operators, which is like, I mean, that person doesn't come from a, I'm not saying that they are not educated, but it's like, it's a difference, and that's where the whole design becomes very different on a platform of a professional and a commercial who sits in a corner of a street, So, and I don't know how we can change this, because now those DTP artists can't afford to go to a very high prestige universities.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously they are going to get information from it's online, or maybe their friends, or maybe their shopkeepers might be teaching them how to do it. So and then when I try to tell my kids who are actually from a privileged university, they don't know. So I only started teaching in India since 3 years.
Where
and
oh, sorry.
I teach in Srishti. It's okay. I teach in
Srishti.
Yeah, I do.
So nice, in Bengaluru.
In Bengaluru, yeah.
I'm from Mysore.
Oh, are you? Okay. Wow, that's a lovely place. I've been there.
Yeah, when I was writing my thesis in 2009, I got a chance to meet Kumkum. And
he's our dean.
We met with her when she came to Jordan at the Calligraphy Day conference. And it was nice to connect with her again. And she's been talking about, like, I was thinking of sabbatical, and she's been talking about coming down and then teaching a master class at Srishti. That would be amazing. Yeah, so nice to see you.
Same here.
I totally understand what you're saying. Like, I'm trying to go back and practice Kannada calligraphy. And then so I started this one project called Deepavali Card Project since the past 2 years, because in the United States they have the Diwali stamp. And then so I thought this is a great way to kind of look at our own mantras and shlokas and interpret that. And then using, I want to purposefully use Kannada instead of using Devanagari or Sanskrit.
So you speak Kannada?
Yes, I speak Kannada.
Oh, nice. Lovely.
I've been practicing. I've been talking Kannada, and with my children too. I've raised them so they can understand Kannada. Not write Kannada. I wish that could have been nice, but they can speak Kannada. So I've been practicing Kannada calligraphy. So then I've been sharing this with people, right? And then talking about my Indian American identity, and then talking about culture, and then and all of the sacredness that we have in terms of type. And then I want them to kind of do that. So right now I'm currently working on my Diwali or Deepavali project, like the third card that I'm going to be sending out to people. So
I'll just add to that I initiated to open a letterpress lab at Srishti.
Oh, how nice.
And we found last year a type foundry which was closing down, and we have inherited a lot of Kannada metal phones in an original condition, and plus I would say mint almost, because
didn't you get a caster? You got a caster?
We have a caster as well,
Wow. I was supposed to come to India this summer, but then with all the travel, I couldn't. But I'm planning to come next summer. I would love to meet with you and Kumkum and. Oh, wow. So nice. And I would love to invite you to my classroom. And Shelly, you as well. and like for a workshop or something
We
like
can
that.
definitely exchange emails, of course.
Absolutely.
What I want is I want Zinab to come to the United States and teach in our letterpress studio, and then she and I can both drive over. You're near. You're close enough.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
So,
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
Where are
yeah,
you?
in India terms, we're kind of close, but we're not really. What
Okay.
is it, like 10 hours, 6 hours?
And
I don't know.
you're
Okay.
in Ohio, Athens. How far from Columbus or Cleveland?
1 hour.
An hour. So you're about a good 7-8 hours drive.
There we go. Yeah.
Where are you
So-
based?
Me, I'm in Bloomington Normal. So we are about 2 hours south of Chicago. So we are right
Okay, on top.
Chicago and St. Louis. We are close to Urbana-Champaign.
Nice. Yeah.
So everybody else, we're all having a good time.
Sorry.
If you would like to join in, we have plenty of time for other questions, and we'd love to have this be a bigger discussion, but I guess you all are awfully shy, so that's okay. Well, all right, nobody has any questions or comments, and this is a great time for instructors to talk and share and definitely make connections. And that's something that I really see happening at this conference is all of us are, since we always can't attend an ATypI, it's really wonderful to be able to connect. And I mean, if we're still on lockdown in the spring, it looks like we can certainly have some combined classes. And how much fun is that? Like, we can't necessarily bring in guest speakers, but we can certainly do them this way. So
Totally. And I'm telling you, I'm getting more invites for the collaboration, and I'm like, okay, it's booked now. So yeah, I think definitely of these sessions, So yeah.
Zinab, can you tell everybody what the script is behind you?
This is Gurumukhi. And this is my pandemic adventure, what I did. So I started this 30-something days of Gurumukhi, and it was just plain black. And then because sitting at home doing nothing was something like, okay, I need to fill color in this. At least it's not that boring. So I started filling color in that. And yeah, this is how it turned out.
Beautiful.
So this is Gurumukhi, yeah.
Very beautiful.
Yeah, I
It
learned some
seems
new
like
tricks.
Indic scripts are really getting a lot of attention in the past 5 years, I'd say. Definitely.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
10 years, people were just really kind of starting. But, Adobe's spent some time making sure that they're really supporting the script. And so it looks
Hopefully,
like it's, yeah. And it looks like there will be more contributions and more expansions of typographic approaches. And it's not just on the Indian Type Foundry to contribute to it. With places like Type Together, I think that we're seeing some really good stuff coming out.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
I see Ishan Khosla also as one of the participants. I've learned so much from him. Again, in grad school, I got a chance to communicate with him, and I love all of the work that he's doing. So thanks, Ishan, for joining.
I don't know. We'll see if he does actually. There we go. There he is. Would you like to join in the chat? You just need to turn on your video. I don't know if, let's see. Did I turn it on for you, Zinab, or did you turn it on yourself?
I just did it by myself. It says set active and it worked, yeah.
Okay, that's good to know. We're still figuring out this software, but I tell you, if we do it again next year, we know exactly what we're doing. So it's good. Hi, Ishan.
Hopefully it's not online next year.
Oh, yeah. I don't know if I'll be able to make it to Paris, but I'm going to definitely try to make it to future ones now. So let's see, Ishan, I can't. Yeah, you'd have to turn on your screen. Well, there we go. Whoops. Okay, now I got you there. All right.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
So how have you two collaborated in the past?
No, like for me, when I was writing my graduate thesis work and I was looking at Indian type designers, And then I couldn't find much at all. This was, I'm talking about 2007. And then really looking at designers who are studying Indian script and then kind of going mainstream, I couldn't find much. And then I came to know, I kind of looked up at Ishan Khosla, and then he had just finished, graduated from SVA, I think, and you were in Delhi, and you were trying to open your studio. And then I got to talk to him through email, and you shared me your graduate thesis work. I
That's
still
right.
have it. And I learned so much just looking at that. And I've been following you and your studio and all of the wonderful things that you're doing with all that handicraft material type. That's awesome.
Yeah, in fact, we have something here. You see that K at the back.
Yeah.
I'll be talking about it tomorrow.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
What time would that be?
I think it's 7:30 p.m. India time. I think it's 10 a.m. Eastern Daylight.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Very nice.
No, it's
That's
good.
how I know.
All of you. And Shelley, I think we've also coordinated. We've also interacted in the past. I don't know if you remember.
I kept thinking, I know that name. I feel like we've emailed years ago. Yes, that's right. Awesome. So, well, if there's not much more to say, if nobody else is going to participate, we'll just keep sitting here talking and chatting and talking about collaboration in Indic scripts and where things are going. Or we can move to the hangout room. So up to you all these lurkers. I see your names. Yeah. All right. So Ishan, where are you based now? Are you in Delhi?
I'm in Delhi right now. That's right.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. All right. See, I talk to Indians and I start doing the head.
Oh yeah,
shake.
absolutely.
I just, I do it without thinking. After I talk to Zainab on the phone, I'm doing all the hand stuff. So, all right. Okay, well, I guess we're not going to have any questions, so that's fine, but we certainly can hang out. Or actually, I think what I'll do is I can close this off. And if you would like to move to the hangout room to just see other people and see where that is going, and I will prep for my next talk. So nice to meet you. And thank you so much for such a wonderful talk, Archana. I think that what you're doing is definitely indicative of where typographic education is going. And it's time for everyone to move outside of, it's not even just their town, it's the country as well. And if we're not teaching our students about bilingual typography, then we're definitely doing them a disservice.
Absolutely. So. Absolutely. Well, thank you so much. And it was great chatting with both of you. And I would like to connect with both of you through email or Slack.
Sure.
Yeah.
I think I just have to see your recording now because I just missed the whole session.
Oh, sure.
It's hard to keep up. I do.
Yeah. And I think I skipped it that everything starts at 4:30, 5:30, and then there is a gap. So I always start at 4 and 5, and then there's a half an hour break. So
gotcha.
Okay. So
do you know when your talk is showing?
It's on Saturday, it says, but I don't know the timing. I have to look at it. Okay. It's on Saturday for sure.
Okay, good. We'll see if I moderate it. All right, then. Okay, thank you so much, Archana. Bye, Zainab. And thank you so much, Archana. And we will see you hopefully in the hangout room.
Yes.
All right. Bye.